one more thing. Only in India you will see, just based on religions, cities being created. In other countries you will see, in some countries based on universities, cities will grow around the university. In some country you will see, around the industries, the cities will grow. In some countries you will see, around the political capitals, cities will grow. Only in India, around the temples and religious places, cities will grow. Such a big city, Badri, the whole Badri is alive, surviving, just by the one small, this size stone, Badrinatha. This is the size of the Badrinatha. This size stone is giving food for whole city. And Vishwanath, the city size is amazing. 300,000 people enter into that city, Kasi. We did not go in this trip. It is little down, south. On the bank of Ganges only that city is there. Varanasi. Our Muni's area. Nityananda Muni's area. Varanasi. Of course, I can make one more announcement. We bought the land in Varanasi to start a hospital, a charitable hospital, and the ashram. Sri Nityananda Muni will be the in charge of that ashram and the whole project. Anyhow, that Varanasi city, 300,000 people come inside city every day. Floating population, entry. The visitors who enter the city every day is 300,000, 3 lakh. The whole city is surviving, alive, just this size stone. Vishwanatha, that's all. Vishwanatha is just this size. Badrinatha is this size, Vishwanatha is this size. And uncarved stones, not even carved stones, uncarved stones. That's all. You can't imagine. Then see the power of the culture. See the power of the tradition. See the power of the faith, power of the philosophy. This size stone is creating one city, and this size stone is creating much bigger city. That's all. And if I describe one by one, practically every city, whole Bombay, the economical capital of India, the financial capital of India, is only this size stone, Mumbai, again uncarved. Uncarved this size stone, Mumbai. That is the Mumbai temple. Mumbai whole city was created just around the temple, Mumbai. That's why it is called Mumbai. And the whole Calcutta, which is a cultural capital of India, this size tongue, just a stone of tongue, Kalighat only became Calcutta, where the tongue of Devi fell. That is the temple. Around the temple, the whole city got created. Again, this size uncarved stone, that's all. Nothing else. And the whole Chennai, Chennakeswara Perumal, Triplicane, there is a Perumal temple, the Vishnu temple. It used to be called as Chennakeswara. Now they call it as Parthasara. Parthasarathi and Chennakeswara is one and the same. Chennakeswara Perumal. Around that only the whole Chennai city grew, based on that temple. The Madras, what they call now Madras, the whole city grew. Every city, I can say, just this size stone, nothing else. And the whole city grows and lives just based on that. At least Mumbai, Calcutta now has got many industry, politics and so many reasons. But these Himalayan cities have no reasons to survive except faith and tradition. You won't find a single industry. Did you find any industry? Did you find any production? Did you find any marketing? Nothing. This 5 city, Panchapuri, we call the Panchapuri, Haridwar, Rishikesh, Uttarkasi, Gangotri, Kedar. Only this Panchapuri, these 5 cities has got 100,000 ashrams. If you just walk, every road is an ashram. Only ashram. All other buildings are people are supporting the ashrams. That's all. Just the faith and trust, culture can create cities. Then understand the great tradition or the great inner science they developed, and the power of the inner science expressing. Feel blessed. You also experienced that great tradition in its very root. In its very root, from where it took birth. Be very clear and be really proud. You visited a place where humanity started and did the great research and development on the inner science. Remember one thing, you visited a place, you stayed in a place, you experienced the place where the great tradition of research and development on the inner science, inner consciousness started, was happening, is happening, and will be happening. You visited, stayed in that place. Apart from that, you also went through the whole process. You also went through at least a glimpse. At least a glimpse. See, it's like a Ganga is a big river. If you bring a small coconut shell, you will carry that much of water. If you bring a big barrel, you will carry that much of water. If you bring a container, you will carry that much of water. But whatever you brought, you carry that much of Ganges with you. If you brought 2-liter can, you will carry in that. If you brought 10-liter can, you will carry in that. But whether it is 1 dram or 10 liter, for whatever your body and mind was worthy, that much of energy you are carrying with you. You are carrying with you. Just remember and be proud, celebrate. You are also carrying maybe 1 drop or 2 drop or 1 glimpse or 2 glimpse or a liter or a barrel, whatever it is. You are carrying that great energy and the beautiful memories. The beautiful memories with you. And this great inner science. Alright, I'll finish by saying one thing which I did not explain, my enlightenment experience. Really what happened? Really what happened? It was around December 25th or 26th, around that time. That was the time I tried to commit suicide by crossing the Narmada because of the deep depression. I think I narrated already that incident. Anyhow, the suicide mood has disappeared. Then I walked along the Narmada and crossed the bridge and came back to the place where I was staying and felt really irritated that I wasted 1 day. I was not successful even in that. Anyhow, but there was a deep peace inside. Just relaxed, totally relaxed. Did not do any tapas or meditation or anything. My mind has lost interest in everything else except the meditation. Now that interest also is lost. Then what to do? What for the body or mind needs to be kept alive? See, body unless you have some strong will, your muscles will not be solid, it will become liquid. You can see even in your life, when you feel no confidence or courage, if your trust is completely lost on everybody, you will see your muscles will become just like a liquid. Your muscles will not have power at all. When you lie down on your bed, you will see every inch of the muscle paining, as if the muscles are becoming liquid. It is disappearing. It is moving separately. They are not under one centralized control. They are not controlled by one centralized department. So now what to do? What for we should be alive? There is neither other desires nor the desire for enlightenment. That's also lost. Completely lost. And the amazing thing is the mantra which I used to constantly repeat, that also is lost. Actually, even now if you observe me very closely, constantly I will be counting my finger. I am doing this. If you observe me closely, when I am alone or when I am relaxing, especially when I lie down and sleep, you will see constantly I will be counting my finger. Means, why I count my finger, I try to bring that mantra so that I can keep my mind alive. Otherwise I want to be able to keep even one thread of mind to handle the body. Through the mantra only I try to keep that mind so that I can handle the body. At that time, even this mantra was lost. What to do? Even the mantra is lost. There is nothing to do. Already the desire to sleep or desire to eat or all those things have disappeared. There was no desire except meditation. Now that also is lost. Everything is gone. And the photo which I threw, the Ramakrishna's photo, broken, and it is lying there. Did not even I care to look. I did not even care to take it and throw it in the Narmada. Even for that I don't want to go and touch that. The broken glass lying down. The photo was actually a paper. Paper means like a cardboard. But the frame, glass frame was broken. It's lying there. No interest in anything. And the only thing, suicide, that also became failure. Now what to do? I was just sitting. I can say I was lying, supporting a rock near the Narmada. I don't know how you will believe. Continuously 7 days. I was just lying. Neither thinking about food, nor there was not even a trace of thought about going to 1, 2, 3. Even the 1, 2, 3 idea did not happen in the body. There was no question of even thinking about food. It's not that I thought about food and suppressed, no. Not even the question of food appeared. Just body was lying. Actually, I did not even know 7 days passed at that time. Now, by recalling, by taking the black box out, I was able to give the clear definition or clear thing what happened. That time I did not even know what was happening. I was just sitting, that's all. Sun rises and sun falls. Sunrise means daytime, sunset means night, that's all. There was nothing else. Around 7 days passed. It was January 1st, night. Maybe around 11:45. I always tell people, when I lost the or the confidence, when my identity was shaken, I was blaming all the masters who inspired me. All the masters who inspired me. Instead of suspecting my identity, I was suspecting their identity. I felt they have conspired against the humanity by creating the idea of enlightenment. And I can say in a very funny way, I was suspecting that they conspired against the humanity. After the 7th day, they made me join in their group. As long as I was doubting their identity, I was never able to get into their group. The moment I started doubting my identity, simply I was allowed to join in their group. It was around 11:45 night. Actually, that time I do not know the time or the date and all those things. Later on, I retrieved the black box to see the information and took out the whole information. It was around 11:45 in the night. It has happened in some maybe 20-21 minutes. That was the total time. Because when I retrieved the black box, I was able to see 11:45, the last thought was there. The last thought was there, 11:45. And 21 minutes after, there was no link. Around 11:45, slowly, the whole identity started melting, relaxing. The inner chattering which was going on slowly started giving big gaps. The gap between one thought and another thought was becoming more and more, wider and wider. Around maybe 12 or 12:15, maybe after the 21 minutes, something like that, 12 or 12:10, around that time, suddenly I saw the last thought disappeared into the tremendous bliss. Never thoughts came again. A complete unclenching. A complete unclenching. And the tremendous peace and bliss which you feel in Ganga. When you see she is overflowing and bubbling and gushing in the Himalayas, what you feel in her, the same feeling, the same ecstasy, same excitement and same energy for no reason. So just it became part of the whole existence. Many intellectuals, professors, even scientists have asked me, Swamiji, tell us exactly what happened in you, pinpointing the permanent transformations because of enlightenment. Actually, to tell you honestly, I cannot describe what all has happened or what has happened. Whatever word I use, it will be only too little. If you can read the bliss and the truth radiating in my eyes, you can understand. If you can penetrate into my eyes, you are blessed, you may be able to understand. Otherwise, words cannot do justification. Words cannot explain. That is why they say, Vak cannot completely express. Vak cannot completely express.